An analyst recently linked the New York Jets to a top rival free agent. Should the Jets hop in? We'll talk about it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What is going on, everybody? I am Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your bleeping podcast. A couple of things. Flip the banner, baby. Here's our top 5 raffle leaderboard so far this month. J-Boy in first place with 41 raffle tickets. Aced 10 in second place with 16. Devin and Dick Chimney's Burner tied at 10. And then for Lily and Big D each have 3 raffle. And Badshaw have 3 raffle tickets apiece. You guys are all competing for this wonderful prize because the 2025 NFL Draft, which we all know by this, that's in 20 days, baby. So this is what you guys are competing for. Throw it up on the big board. The official 2025 Jets Draft hat, the official Jets 2025 Draft shirt, and the movie Draft Day, one of my favorite movies of all time. All of this is up for grabs, and one lucky person will win all of these prizes. Raffle tickets are $2.99 a piece. You can join the Boy Green Coffee Club in the YouTube description down below. Become a member of the YouTube channel. You have a raffle ticket to win all these prizes, and you get all kinds of perks. Early membership videos, priority replies to comments, unlock our emojis, and so much more here on the program, baby. And, of course, you get to support the show. So all of these are available. Again, the last day to submit tickets for this raffle will be April 15th. We'll reveal a winner on the 16th and immediately ship that out to whoever the winner is, folks. So make sure you guys get involved on that as well. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's dive right in and look at that. Ed Vargas, baby, with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Love the support, baby. Oh, yes. Aaron Glenn?
Here's what I do know. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Let's put Ed Vargas on the board, baby, with a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships, immediately putting him inside the top 5 of raffle tickets so far this month. Let's reveal the 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Ed Vargas, baby. Who Dat Fam, Keenan Good, Ryan Mercuro, New York Jets Smoking Lounge, and NY Jets Super Fan. You guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Ed Vargas, who got those raffle tickets, baby. Thanks for supporting the gosh darn program. Hell yeah. That's what I like to see. That kind of support, baby. So let's continue to include that here, like I said, on the big board. All right, let's see. Where did we put Ed Vargas here? All right, he immediately surges into 4th place on our leaderboard. Much appreciated. Let's go Ed Vargas with 5 raffle tickets, baby. All right, very nice. Thanks, Ed. There we go. And then that puts Fleur Lily and Badshaw rounding out the top 5. So there you go. Beautiful. Thank you, Ed Vargas, for your support, pal. And looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Yeah, my pop's in the chat. Let's get your raffle tickets, people. The draft is coming, just like winter. Well, I'll tell you this real quick draft nugget that has nothing to do with this current topic. Again, we have a full article in the YouTube description down below on this topic if you want to read ahead. But there's one last pro day, folks. One last pro day before the 2025 NFL Draft, and that is today. And that is, as Colorado is calling it, the Colorado Showcase. It will be the pro day for Shedeur Sanders, the talented quarterback, and Travis Hunter, the two-way player that can play corner and wide receiver. And NFL executives, scouts, coaches are all descending upon Boulder, Colorado for a final chance to see Sanders and Hunter. Again, today is that Colorado Showcase, which, again, is the last pro day of this cycle, which means the thing you're going to want to start paying attention to next, Jet fans, is, of course, the top 30 visits, which should now be really raking in with this being the last pro day. There's 20 days to the draft. A lot of these top 30 visits are going to start coming out for the New York Jets, which is a pretty gosh darn exciting as we see who the Jets are taking a gander at from that perspective. But I'll tell you this. I will tell you this. One of my things I like to do in free agency, in Madden, the video game, and I translate it if I was ever a general manager in the National Football League, is that I want to fill as many holes in free agency as possible to create flexibility in the draft. And I think the Jets can find a way to do that, which we'll get into. Let's give a couple of shout-outs here. Neil Sr. says, thanks to everyone in the chat for your vote yesterday. Maybe I will get one championship in 56 years in Asmaniac Madness, LOL. So throw it up. Neil Sr. has been a big supporter of the Boy Green Coffee Club, gifted memberships and supporting and his wonderful phone calls and stuff. So keep rooting for Neil Sr., one of the OGs. Big salute. Appreciate that. My pop says the Jets need to walk away from the draft with 3 starters using their capital to maximize value, and that should be doable. 7, okay. 42 in the second round, all right. And then 73 in the third round. There are plenty of ops to get those starters. And shout out to R&R, baby, the best way to start the day. Boy Green Daily, right here in the morning. Here's the player that was connected to the New York Jets. It is Buffalo Bills wide receiver Amari Cooper. Former NFL quarterback turned analyst Kurt Benkert for Bleacher Report listed the Jets as a quote-unquote top landing spot for Buffalo Bills wide receiver Amari Cooper. And here's what old Kurt had to say about the Amari Cooper situation. Quote, I see the Jets as a potential landing spot for Amari Cooper. I put the New York Jets on this list because Devontae Adams is gone. Alan Lazard is their number 2 receiver, and their number 1 receiver, Garrett Wilson, did not thrive when he was the only true vertical receiver in the offense. And Cooper, by the way, just completed the final year of his $100 million contract. He originally signed that with the Dallas Cowboys, then he was traded over to Cleveland Browns, and then he was traded over to the Buffalo Bills. So a lot of movement for one Amari Cooper here. And here's more from Benkert on Garrett Wilson apparently struggling. Quote, before Devontae Adams got there, Garrett Wilson was kind of struggling because he was getting all the attention by cornerback ones, and he wasn't popping off. Garrett Wilson started playing better when Adams entered the picture. It started taking eyeballs and coverage away from him. Now, this is an uncomfortable conversation because we'll take a quick pivot on Garrett before we work our way back to Amari Cooper. If you're going to be honest, Garrett Wilson did struggle before Devontae got there. I got the stats in front of me here. Through the first 6 games of the season, the final game Garrett Wilson had before Devontae Adams arrived was Week 6, Buffalo Bills, Monday Night Football, Jeff Ulbricht's first game as interim head coach, and then Devontae showed up, quote-unquote, Week 7. It was the next day. But through the first 6 games of the season, Garrett Wilson was targeted 67 times, had 41 catches, 399 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. He averaged 10 yards a catch. Okay, that's fine. But in 4 of those 6 games, Garrett Wilson had 61 receiving yards or fewer. The final 2 games where it seemed like things were revving up, he had 2+ 100-yard receiving games. So whether that was the Jets, over, compensation of that, like a market fixer, so to speak, or what, I don't know. In the final 11 games of the season, after the Jets had already acquired Adams, Garrett Wilson was targeted 87 times, so 20 more times in 11 games. So interestingly, when you look at the targets, right? So 67 targets through the first 6 games. He was one of the most targeted receivers in football. And then in the 11 games, he only had 87 targets. So despite playing in 5 more games, he only got 20 more targets. That's sort of interesting. But he caught 60 passes, had 705 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns, and an average 11.99 yards per reception. So he was much more explosive by the numbers, which is sort of interesting. He wasn't targeted as much, which I find intriguing. This is more from Kurt Benkert. Quote, I think Amari Cooper, could be of assistance to a guy like Garrett Wilson, who, let's just say it, the Jets don't have a lot of firepower on offense. If they just have Wilson as their only true, explosive receiver of any sort, I think they're going to have a hard time when teams just go and double Garrett Wilson or roll cover 2 over to him. I really think if the Jets want to have a chance this year at all in their division, they need to bring somebody in that is able. Someone like Amari Cooper, at least for this year, could go bolster them up a bit, bring them a bit more value, and kind of get them going. I will agree with this from Kurt Benkert. that the New York Jets absolutely need a Robin to his Batman, because when people were double teaming Garrett Wilson and he was facing these top level corners at the beginning of the season, it was really difficult for Garrett Wilson to go off. It was very difficult for him to go off. That's true. So he needs another guy opposite of him. And the problem is that Devontae was too strong of a power nova and had that relationship with Aaron Rodgers where he was getting targeted way more than Garrett Wilson, and that was causing problems. So you need someone who doesn't command the Devontae Adams attention, but enough that's respectable as your wide receiver too. And this is why I'm really intrigued about the potential of Amari Cooper. He's 30 years of age. He's a 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2015 NFL draft. He's appeared in 154 games. He's made 143 starts. He has 711 career receptions for over 10,000 receiving yards and 64 touchdowns. Pro Football Focus at the beginning of free agency, he was listed as the 7th best free agent on the board, and he is still available here less than 3 weeks away from the 2025 NFL Draft. PFF projected him to sign a 2-year deal for $30 million, with $25 million of that guaranteed. That $15 million annual salary would have placed Cooper 22nd among the highest paid wide receivers in football. I don't think he's getting that kind of bag. With us being so far away, all the big free agent splashes are over. So I don't think so. And Allen's like, I can't believe Amari's only 30. Yeah, it's true. He's only 30 years of age. He's lived a crazy life, because you think about it, he was drafted by the Raiders and then traded to the Cowboys, and then for the Cowboys traded to the Browns, and from the Browns traded to the Bills. He is packing bags. I mean, he's moving all over the place. But it is true. Amari only 30 years of age. The veteran market at wide receiver hasn't developed much. You know, the Patriots are desperate, and they're overpaying people left and right. So Stephon Diggs ended up getting a bigger bag than I think a lot of people expected, especially coming off a torn ACL. But I think Cooper's going to come at a relatively cheaper price. I don't think it's veteran minimum. I don't think it's anything crazy like that. But I don't think he's getting the $15 million per year that Cooper Kupp got from Seattle. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen, especially Amari Cooper's final season here. Let's pull up the stat by stat or year by year, production. So this past year, he had 20 catches for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns with the Bills. And then he had another 24 catches, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns with the Browns. But prior to that, the last 2 years in Cleveland were terrific. He had over 140 catches. He had nearly 2,500 yards. He had 14 touchdowns, And then his average per reception was well over 15.5 yards per reception. So explosive, consistent. And then this past year, I just don't know how to explain whatever the hell was happening there. So I think you could get him on a good value and bring him in, man. Good value in terms of price. You need another guy opposite of Garrett. Amari Cooper is a terrific route runner. That would be great for the room. And I think it'd be relatively cheap. NC Green says, don't think Cooper will play for cheap. Well, then he may not be playing football. Again, I don't think it's going to be veteran minimum. It's probably going to be, I don't know. It's going to be the Mike Williams deal that the Jets gave him last year, like a 1-year deal for $8-9 million, something in that ballpark, with like a $5 or $6 million chunk guaranteed, maybe some incentives built in there. But yeah, that's a swing I would take. And again, I go back to the beginning of our conversation: roster flexibility. Right now, everyone and your grandma knows the Jets need a wide receiver on top of a tight end and a right tackle and a defensive tackle and a safety. Maybe an off-ball linebacker. Some people want quarterback. You get my point? There's a lot of gosh darn needs on this team, man. A lot of gosh darn needs on this team. Meadowland Swamp Thing, 100% Amari Cooper's better than Alan Lazard. Yes, of course. Yes. Matthias says, why bring in older players? There's only 5 players on this New York Jets roster that are 30 or older. A little veteran splash doesn't hurt. Not everyone can be young. He says, why bring in older players? Why bring in older players? Stay with the youth movement. Nah, man. I'm good with the balance. Molon saying Cooper's Lazard. Get the bleep out of here, man. Here is Amari Cooper's career, okay? Let's put him next year. This is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard, Molon. Here we go, right? So, Alan Lazard in his career, 229 catches, 3,000 yards, and he has 27 touchdowns, right? Amari Cooper has more than double his catches, 711 receptions. He has more than triple his receiving yards at 10,000 receiving yards. He has 64 touchdowns, which is well over double his touchdowns. Like, come on, man. The disrespect for Amari Cooper. Coop! What are we talking about, man? Come on now. If we're talking about today, look at these last 2 seasons that he had before this weird year where he's traded all over the place. Again, the last 2 years, 2022, 2023, very recent. He had 140-plus catches, 2,500 yards, and 14 touchdowns. Where is that in Lazard's career? Oh, wait, spoiler alert, I can help you, pal. It doesn't exist. It does not exist, Molon. Lazard has never had that kind of production. As a matter of fact, he's never had 1,000 yards. The most receiving yards he's ever had was 788. And if you want to say, hey, what about the present, Paul? Then over the last 2 years, Allen Lazard has had 800 receiving yards. What are we talking about? 800 combined. Allen Lazard has had 800 yards. Come on, man. That is not. Okay, so let's go last 2 years, right? Let's combine them both, right? So Amari Cooper over here has 1,900 receiving yards over the last 2 years. 1,900. This messed up Bills-Browns year and the Browns year before it. He has 1,900 receiving yards combined. Allen Lazard has 800 yards receiving over those last 2 years. Again, we go to catches coming up here. Amari Cooper over the last 2 years has 110 catches. Let's see how many Lazard has. He has 60. Oh, well, okay. Let's go to touchdowns. You start looking at some of these numbers, all of a sudden, it doesn't look the same, Molon. Again, I don't know, where is the Coop hate? He is a fine player, a very fine player. So I don't know about all that. You're like, the career is better. The recent's better. Everything's better. Amari Cooper is a better player than Allen Lazard in his career. Recently? Come on, man. Where's the Amari Cooper, disrespect? It's disgusting. Reese says BG Lazard is waste management trash. He's 100% trash. So saying that he and Amari Cooper are the same thing is incredibly disrespectful. And he led the league in drop percentage last year. What are we talking about, man? What are we bleeping talking about? Attitude is better. Meadowland Swap thing. Yes, Amari Cooper literally is better than Allen Lazard in every category. Statistically, attitude, player profile, all of it. I mean, literally, there's not a box that Allen Lazard beats him in. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. There's another one. Neil Sr. Lazard has the highest drop rate in the league the last 2 years. I bet Cooper has the near lowest drop rate. I don't have that advanced level statistics in front of me, but Amari Cooper's a really good player. Anywho, my point is, with all of this chatter, is if I'm the Jets and you want to make one more splash, again, I use splash in quotations on splash, okay? I use it in quotations because I don't think it's going to be a $30 million contract or anything different. I stand corrected. The Meadowland Swamp thing. Lazard is better with a soccer ball. You know what? That I would probably agree with. Fine. Okay. Lazard's probably better with a soccer ball. I'm not sure how that helps here, but good point. There you go. Yeah. So, but yeah, anywho, if I'm the Jets, this is one of the moves. There's not many free agents left out there that can move the needle. Amari Cooper can move the needle, man. He is rock solid. And I'd love to add that to the room. Our room is Josh Reynolds, Allen Lazard, Malachi Corley. Come on, man. These guys are just a bunch of names. And they either suck or they're unproven, right? Like Malachi Corley, no freaking clue. Maybe he's going to come in and blow it up this year. I hope so. I'm a Jets fan, man. I hope he does blow it up. But, I don't freaking know. It'd be crazy for me to tell you fans, the hundreds that are listening right now, it'd be crazy for me to say, guys, believe in Malachi Corley. He's going to be the guy. Based on what? Based on what? So come on, man. Based on what? I can't lie to you. So we need another bleeping wide receiver. Let's go to a YouTube super chat shout out from a member for 9 months, Philly Noodle 631. Every time we get a super chat shout out, we hear from my beautiful daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
BG, let them know, my guy. Like, sub, join. That's true. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's available in the YouTube description down below. Only $2.99 a month. Plus, it gives you a raffle ticket to have a chance to win the official Jets draft hat, draft shirt, and the movie Draft Day. So I highly recommend it. It's the best value in sports, $2.99. I mean, it's $1 per possible prize you could win, for Pete's sake, let alone everything else. And liking and subscribing to the channel is free. And we're trying to chase 10,000 subs, baby. So help us get there, chip by chip. Member for 9 months, Philly Noodles, we appreciate you, pal. Yeah. Molon. AR is better than Fields according to your logic. How come he's not here? To me, it's very simple. But let's talk about it, right? Aaron Rodgers. The reason why Aaron Rodgers isn't here is because of what AG has already said. He wanted to move in silence. It would be impossible to move in silence with Aaron Rodgers. That's the fact of the matter. You know, just before the show, I was deleting a couple of videos that I have in my little button bar here. The videos, I'm like, well, we're not playing those anymore. And it's funny that you mentioned this because Aaron Rodgers was a bunch of those videos. Me screaming at the top of my lungs, week 3, Jets, Patriots, me, Nick Shina, James Woody, everybody at the tailgate going, Aaron Bleeman Rodgers, when he got announced. And then all these other little Aaron Rodgers videos I had. So why is he not here? Aaron Glenn wants to move in silence. Aaron Rodgers is a noise machine. He talks on Pat McAfee, does all that stuff. And by the way, it's his right. He can do whatever the bleep he wants. He's Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Glenn wants to move in silence. He wants to operate his own thing. Aaron Rodgers, right, is on his last legs. He only has this much time left. Aaron Glenn just signed I think it was a 5-year deal. He's in the first year of a very long journey with the Jets. And Aaron Glenn doesn't know if this is going to be his last head coaching opportunity. You have to play it as if it is. This is your only chance. And what Aaron Glenn and Darren Mucci have to ask themselves is, are we willing to tie our careers to Aaron Rodgers? Because if we say, yeah, let's bring Aaron Rodgers back, and then there's any cancerous energy, like halfway through the year we get any of the bullshit we just had this past year, and then that's how this new regime starts their journey. And then the next year, they're getting rid of Aaron Rodgers, doing everything they did this year, getting rid of him. And they're trying to clean out the Rodgers funk because Devontae would have come back and everything else. They're going to clean all that up and then start fresh again. Like, oh, boy. To me, it would have been a disaster. And again, I wanted Aaron Rodgers back. So I'm being as consistent as I possibly can. I wanted Rodgers back. I thought he gave us the best chance to win of him as a player. But I will tell you this, I totally understand why Aaron Glenn said, you know what? I don't want to tie myself to that. Let me rip off the Band-Aid. And if I'm going to live and die on my sword, if I get fired eventually a couple of years because it doesn't work, I want it because I didn't get it done, not because I attached myself to Aaron Rodgers. That started us off on the wrong foot. Let's say halfway through and I brought this example up a couple of times. Let's say Aaron Rodgers initially buys into the Aaron Glenn, Darren Mucci plan. Oh, great. Okay, let's fast forward 7 weeks of the season. Let's say it's not vibing, right? Tanner Engstrand has never called plays at the NFL level. Let's say him and Rodgers aren't a great fit because Rodgers knows more football than Tanner Engstrand, or Aaron Rodgers has forgotten more football than Tanner Engstrand has ever known. What if they have a rub in the middle of the season? And Aaron tells some other teammates, I'm not buying this bullshit we're getting fed. And there are players on the team that are Aaron Rodgers supporters, and I don't blame them, but there are. The moment that the Jets decided to move on from Aaron Rodgers, Quinnen Williams, one of the leaders on the team, tweeted out, I guess it's another rebuilding year for me, I guess. That's how much power Aaron Rodgers has. He is an influencer. And there are players on the team that follow Aaron Rodgers. They would follow him if he walked off a bridge. There'd be players going, well, he's our leader. Let's go. And they dive off the bridge. The Jets needed to remove all of that and, again, live and die on their own sword. If Aaron Rodgers had a lot of people on the team that obviously followed him very closely, and if he didn't buy the bullshit, or I don't want to call it bullshit, if he didn't buy the message that Aaron Glenn and Darren Mucci were sending, and other players on the team bought into what Aaron Rodgers said, you could cause a fracturing at the beginning of your relationship as AG and Darren Mucci. Again, we have a lot of Aaron Rodgers people in our audience that preferred that he would have come back. He did not. So my logic of how come he's not here, everything is case by case. There is no, hey, this is the mentality, and it glosses over every single position. I say Amari is better than Lazard, so then anyone that's better than anyone should be on this team. Obviously, that's not true. Look at a bunch of the free agents that are still available. Some of them are better than what the Jets have at certain positions. Tight end, right tackle, safety, this position, this position, this position. It's not always about that. And you have limited resources. That's another factor. So Milan, I respect alternative opinions. Those always come on this show, but come on now. Let's go to another super chat shout out here on the show.
Wow.
Jake has been a Boy Green Coffee Club member for 2 months. Appreciate it. Neil or Gary better win the bracket at this point. Hey, I'd love either. I love Gary. I love Neil too. I love them both. That would be terrific. Yeah. James Fowles. In friggin' Moochie we trust. Yeah. A click in a view says Aaron Rodgers is not on his last leg. He got something. Okay, maybe people are misinterpreting my words. He's 41. He turns 42 this year. He's on his last legs like his career's about to be over. I think he definitely has something left in the tank. If he goes to Minnesota or Pittsburgh, whatever the hell is going to happen, I think Rodgers is going to show some goodness. I think he's going to show some stuff on the field. I absolutely do. I'm saying last leg like he's playing another 1 or 2 years, maybe. That's it. That's all that's left in the air. And maybe he doesn't play at all. Maybe he retires. I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe. So no, that's what I mean, to clarify. So yeah. Good morning, everybody. I appreciate you. And I mean, this is the thing Aaron Rodgers people don't like to talk about, but we won 5 games with Aaron Rodgers last year. We won 5 games. Now, we could blame the kicker situation. We could blame this situation. We blame whatever situation. We had Aaron Blapin Rodgers, and we all said if he played in all 17 games, we're going to be doing pretty well, or the majority of the season. And he played in all 17, and we still lost. So, to me, you get the drama out. While there's some magical moments, the Thursday night football game, the bomb to Devontae Adams, that was super cool. Love that. 4 touchdowns at the end of the season, smacking around the Dolphins. Love that. But come on now. You take it on the chin, and you rip the Band-Aid off. You're ready to move on. Plus, the cap stuff of next year, he would have been like a $60 million dead cap hit if you kept him another year. That's cost prohibitive, man. So it just makes all the sense in the world. But good conversation. And roll one out for Xavier Newman. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it. So, yes, long story short, I think Amari Cooper would come on relative value. Seems like a good teammate. He'd be a great wide receiver opposite of Garrett Wilson that I don't think is going to, hey, Garrett Wilson, move over. There's a new wide receiver 1 in town. It just seems like the perfect balance. We have 500 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we got a full article in the YouTube description below on this very topic matter. Also, we have a bonus show coming up, baby. We got a bonus show coming up at 1 o'clock, a special start time. Trevor Sikkema. He will be joining us, PFF's lead NFL draft analyst, live at 1 o'clock. If you guys have questions for Trevor, I'm going to have a bunch myself. But if you guys have questions for Trevor, we will give the people that send in super chat questions, they will get priority. Skip the queue for potential questions for Trevor. So keep that in mind coming up at 1 o'clock. Again, Trevor Sikkema, my good buddy who just got married. Major congratulations to him. I can't wait to talk to him in a couple hours, and I'll be at the radio station when I'm talking to him. But again, that'll be coming up. I can't wait. All right, let's do this. We'll take a quick time out, and we'll open up the phone lines here on the show. If you'd like to call on, that is youtube.com/BoyGreen25. More coming up on Boy Green Daily.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go.
What's going on, everybody? We are in hour number 2 of Boy Green Daily. Not hour number 2. I lied. That's I sort of have my radio show thing there. That's what we say when we're entering hour number 2. The second half of the show. Either way, it's going to be a great time. Like I said, we got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Show your support, baby, of what's popping. Appreciate it. Keep sending in your questions. I'll answer some of those. Also, as we are answering phone calls here, phone lines are open. Let's go to them. A cup of Philly noodles. See you on the program. What's up, Philly?
What's going on, dude?
Hey, what's popping?
Not much, man. It's a beautiful day. A little foggy out here in North Carolina. The birds are chirping.
I can hear
That
them. Wow,
means-
very nice. Beautiful.
If you hear that,
Yeah.
that means those are the last Aaron Rodgers truthers out there on the trees, wondering if he's going to come back and save the season when Fields twists his toe and gets
Unbelievable.
you
They
know,
keep chirping. You hear them. Like it's almost
Yeah.
like, again, there's that seashell on the beach and you pick it up and you put your ear up
put
to
it
it.
right there. That's
and
it's
there
that
it is.
moment.
Yep.
It's darkness retreat inside the shell. You
Unbelievable.
can hear it. It's the smoke coming from that tent in the video that he made, that
Lord.
movie.
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. Enigma.
It speaks volumes. He hasn't even gotten a job. And people could say that's because he could just go and get it if he wants. But he's that complicated. It's annoying, dude. It's annoying. So let's be past that. And I mean, I want to scream, get us Warren, because if they did their homework with second round talent tackles, they should be able to grab Warren and just walk out of the first and being happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love a trade back, grab him at 10 or at 12 with the boys or with the Bears or the Saints, whoever could be marching in. That's a punt on that.
I like that. Yeah.
For, maybe Junty, if I doubt the Raiders, what's his name's not going to pass on him. Chip Kelly. Chip
On
Kelly
who?
sees him, Genty.
Yeah. That seems like what a lot of people have penciled in right now.
Consensus, yeah. I don't think they're going to pass on. That's consensus. But I mean, so that means we're just going to have to take Warren and just go for it. And it's funny because what was it, Kyle Brady? That dude. All right, Jed, I love you, buddy. What was it? What was it? The Penn State tight end. That was the last time we did that. It was the worst pick.
Yep.
And,
Kyle Brady over Warren
on.
Sapp.
Yeah. So I mean, don't settle on that feeling, right? But everyone's going to for a second. They're going to replay it on ESPN probably all week that we did that, knowing that we're probably going to take Warren. But we'll just go for it and see what happens. Give us Ursary or the kid out of if he's still there, out of Oregon.
Josh Connerly Jr.
That's right.
Yep.
Because if we go tackle and we don't grab tight end, that means we're gonna have to take a tight end in the third. You're gonna have to go get Higgins.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get a receiver. If you skip that weapon, you better go get a receiver at 2. But that's where I stand in the draft, and I'm excited. Oh, quick question for you.
Sure.
You said you were still looking for a person to host the draft party with you or something?
What I'll be doing is what I ultimately decided to do is to do a lot of different co-hosts for chunks of it, because obviously 4 or 5 hours is a lot of time. There's a lot of different guests that are coming on. So I'm going to be. So phone lines will be open the whole time, so fans can call in at any point as it works as people are coming in. And then additionally, we'll have like Hop on Pop's going to come on, Woody's going to come on, obviously Kotry's going to come on, and I have a bunch of analysts and insiders that are all scheduled for like quick time slots of like 5 to 7 minutes or 5 to 10 minutes or something. Come on, say a quick piece because I want to have it open for fans too. So it's going to be kind of a nice balance. So there'll be a lot of people sort of piecemealing. Okay. There might be another guy or two that's coming along too. Yeah.
Because at the draft party that I'm going to go to in here in Charlotte, we've had Adrian Morrell, the running back the Jets had for a few years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he goes there and he hangs out for a little bit. He did that 2 years in a row. So if he comes again, I'll try to grab him to hop on real quick.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And say, let's go Jets or some.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope. Yeah, please do. Yeah.
All right. So man.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Philly Noodles. Thanks,
yes,
brother. And thanks for all the support. You're always gifting memberships and supporting the channel. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. All right, let's get some of your questions in. I have this one because I had it marked. The Meadowlands Swamp Thing. Any shot Engstrand and AG are thinking Genty at 7? Oh, yeah. I think it's possible. I think it's 100. If he's on the board. Now, Philly Noodles just said he doesn't think he's getting past 6. If he's on the board, I think the Jets think about it. You just listen to some of the commentary. I know AG said he thinks he has 3 really good backs. He does. Braylon is exciting. Isaiah Davis showed flashes. You have Breece Hall, of course. Boy, would I be tempted, man. Would I be tempted? It's not an immediate need, which would make a lot of people angry because you have right tackle, defensive tackle, wide receiver, safety, all these other things that you need. It would be wildly irresponsible. But boy, would that be fun. And either you're going to rock with Genty and Breece together. If Breece is upset, maybe you have to trade him, which would be unfortunate. But, do you do a little, like, again, this crazy running back by committee? I mean, that would be wild again. It would be incredibly, again, I mentioned it earlier, it'd be incredibly irresponsible, but boy, would that be fun. And Jake, what about the back from North Carolina? That's Omari and Hampton, and boy, is he good too. He had back-to-back 1,500-plus yard rushing seasons. Maybe that's the twist you get, right? Because everyone talked about Bijan Robinson in that draft with Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Bijan was going to be this top 10 pick. He ends up going 8 to Atlanta. And then what people didn't know is Gibbs, the gap between Bijan and Gibbs was not as big as people were saying. Then Gibbs goes, people were like, what the hell? First round. So I think it could be Amari and Hampton. I think he could go pretty high, too. Back to the phone lines. You got Hep here on the show. What's up, Hep? Good morning.
Hey, Paul. I want to talk about that interview I sent you on the Facebook.
Oh, my God. That was so good.
That was
good.
awesome. And it was funny because everybody's talking about Fields' legs and stuff. But this boy has an arm, and for the Northeast, this is what we need, some strong arm. And, Glenn was sitting there saying, he was throwing to somebody, and
it's just so good.
Yeah. He's like, yeah. So, he says, we're going to see him. We're going to watch him. We're going to let him play quarterback. Of course, we're going to use his legs, he said, but we're going to let him play quarterback. And, just the whole attitude, what was your take on it?
Yeah. Again, for those who have not seen it, it originally dropped on the Jets app or their website. So either or, you guys could have checked it out. Now it's on their YouTube channel. Aaron Glenn sat down for like 18, 20 minutes with Eric Allen, their senior reporter. And this was after Aaron Glenn had spoken at the coaches breakfast. So there was a 36 minutes or whatever, the coaches breakfast. And then sometime after that, he walked over and did a one-on-one with EA. And man, there's just so many answers in there that make me feel awesome. I just tweeted out a clip. One of the last things that they talked about is, and this is a great question from EA, is he says, Aaron Glenn, you had 41 interceptions during your 15-year career. That's awesome. How do you teach that to your players? Great question, right? We all say, like, how does Sauce just suddenly, he just starts catching interceptions? Or Brandon Stevens last year, like he had 0 picks last year. Like, what just hits it? And Aaron Glenn just talked about, he wants them to continue to do what they do, which is man coverage, where you're not looking at the quarterback zone. You have your eyes on the quarterback all the time, and man coverage you normally do not. But he talked about how he's going to teach them. It's really some of this innate stuff of being able to turn around and having that anticipation, be able to jump on. He says there's things they could do. And the other thing I love is punching the ball out. He said, if you look at my history with all these different teams I've been on, we go after the ball. And if you don't go after the ball, you're not a fit for this team. We are going to be aggressive. We're going to be swarming the football. We're going to be punching at the football at every opportunity and giving chances for our offense. And just the way it seems like he coaches it, I'm just like, man, I can't wait. I can't, because the guy I immediately think of is Peanut Tillman over with the Bears. He would always just boom, punch the ball out with great anticipation. Great. And I'm like, man, let's bring some of that over here, because it seems like, we're allergic to turnovers, for most of the last couple of years. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It's a strange thing. I remember him coming into the league as a rookie, Glenn, and saying like, oh, he's an undersized corner. How's this going to work? And being on the horizontally, the vertically challenged.
Right. 5'9", a first round pick in 1994. Right. A lot of people are like, huh?
So I'm rooting for him. I'm always rooting for the smaller guys,
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, and he didn't disappoint.
No, he had a wonderful long career, one of the best Jets corners in team history. He played for 15 years, had a wonderful life, career, everything else in between. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wanted to throw on a helmet and go run out on the field after I heard him talk yesterday.
Yeah. I know all of it. How we used to talk about Fields and how he's going to be a quarterback too. And we'll do some shows on some of these comments, but the other one about like keeping your own players, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm talking about, baby. Yes.
I know. Love you guys. Peace out.
Thanks for the call, Hep. Yeah. Again, I highly recommend it. If you guys have not seen it, again, we'll be doing shows on some of these comments. You'll see some of the clips, but I highly recommend if you could carve out the time. Aaron Glenn did a one-on-one interview with Eric Allen, the Jets senior reporter. It's available on NewYorkJets.com. It's available on their YouTube page. They just put it up. Phenomenal interview. Phenomenal. So many sound bites, I think, is going to make you guys feel pretty gosh darn good, I would say. So you guys should certainly check that out. All right, let me answer a few more questions. I'll also be dipping early. I got to do something for my daughter's school before I head over to the radio station. And like I said, we will be back on live, so don't worry, you won't be shortchanged today. You'll be bonus changed today, if anything. Coming up live at 1 o'clock will be Trevor Sikkema, Tampa Bay Trey. Looking forward to that. Kyle Clefton, good interactor here on the channel. Replacing Breece with Genty is tempting, especially if you think he's better. Reset the timetable for winning in running back room. Extra year control plus any picks attained. Got to be the right deal. Yeah, here's the thing that I would say on all that. Breece is obviously entering the last year of his deal. Are you going to immediately flip him? Is there a team that's willing to give you a 2, which is what you invested? I'm not so sure if you could get a 2, but maybe because he's young and everything else, and maybe another team immediately sees it. But can you get a 2 or a 3? And then that's another, in theory, a top 100 pick for you to operate with, plus you get Genty. So you could go, while running back wasn't this big need, but you switch out Breece for Genty, let's just say, whoop, and then you have the extra top 100 pick to then fill one of the other holes that you quote unquote ignored at 7. Again, I just think there's a lot of optionality if you do that in that way because of what Genty brings. Because Genty's a freak. I mean, honestly, look at the statistics, look at the explosiveness. That would be great. And again, what are you doing with what's the play? Because this is what we don't know. In the ivory towers of one Jets drive, when Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn are staring at each other, what's the honest conversation, the fly on the wall about Breece? Are we going to pay this guy? Do we not know? Are we going to play out this year? Are we going to trade him? Are we going to franchise tag him after that? Are we giving him a multi-year deal? What are we doing? What's the end game with Breece? What do we think the end game is? And then you compare it to, again, this year's class, right? We've talked about Ashton Genty. Amari and Hampton is a wonderful player. Like, what's the answer here to this? I think it's intriguing. Something, again, we talked about it a few months ago. I went like, Genty? And a lot of people said, Paul, you're an idiot. But could be something. Again, for AG wanted to pound the rock. And imagine so Genty's a good player no matter what. But you pair him with Justin Fields at the mesh point? Like, if Genty's here, he's here. Playing with one of the most dynamic dual-threat quarterbacks in football. Again, you go with a couple other guys, right? You go with you have Lamar Jackson, obviously. You've got Josh Allen, who's a freak. You got Jalen Hurts. You got a couple of these dynamic quarterbacks that can do both. Justin Fields is up there, man. An elite runner. Elite. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Some people are saying Breece Hall stock has dropped. It's crazy, Yeah, maybe because of the value, right? He's never run for 1,000 yards. You need the right team to believe in him. Maybe someone would just say, I'll give you a 5th, and you're like, F that. I'd rather just keep Breece. Maybe you just do that and he's on the team. But we'll see. Kyle Clefton, you figure Sauce and Garrett re-signs. Maybe JJ is odd man out in that scenario. We'll see. I have a feeling that maybe Darren Muji gets it done. This is what Zach Rosenblatt said. He believes Sauce and Garrett both get paid this offseason. Obviously, JJ, you have to kick the can down the road because of the Achilles. We'll see what they do with the 5th-year option. He's the only interesting one. In any world, do they decline that and make 2025 his contract year? Or do they accept that? Because it sounds like AG really likes Jermaine. So we'll see what that means. But either way, obviously JJ's not getting a big deal this offseason. That would be stunning with the Achilles. But you could make the case for Sauce and Garrett for sure. As Mahar Khalil says, don't forget to like and share, everybody. Make sure you spread the gospel of all things Boy Green Daily here. We appreciate you. We have a lot of holes. Philium has said this a lot, that we will not be able to fill every roster hole that we have in this draft. That's just the God-honest truth. Meadowland Swap Thing says, Breece in a 5th for a second. Well, we have 2 5ths, so that would be sort of intriguing. I'd like to know where that 2 is. Is this a high 2 or a low 2? But I like the creativity. Sure. Maybe that's something. I'd probably want, again, I don't mind quality of picks increasing, which obviously would happen there, that you pick up a bonus 2 jumping from 5. Like your latest 5th-round pick is 162, jumping from 162 to like somewhere between 33 and 60, whatever. Like there's some niceness there that you could talk about. Julio Rivera says, people forget he's now going into his 3rd year off of the ACL surgery. Last year, his speed and lateral movement was still off. He's due for a breakout year. Absolutely. But again, goes to the point. Let's say he breaks out. What do you do? Do you start playing the franchise tag game? What do you do with him? That's sort of interesting. Emmanuel Holcomb says, I'm a firm believer in resetting a position to keep your books balanced unless the player is a special talent. Fair enough. That's fair. I can totally understand that. Alan says trade Breece and Quincy early. I don't just do it for shits and giggles, Alan, but if the price is right, you have to consider it based on also what's your replacement plan at those positions. That to me would be interesting. It was like, I don't know if you guys remember this, when the Jets drafted Joe McKnight, a lot of us cocked our head sideways like, why do we need Joe McKnight? And then minutes later, we heard that Leon Washington was traded to the Seattle Seahawks. You're like, oh, God rest in soul to Joe McKnight, who was a wonderful player. Joe McKnight was an amazing player for the Jets. And it was funny for Joe, right? He struggled in the transition from college to the pros. He was throwing up. He was either not in shape. I can't remember the reason he was getting all sick. I think it was a football or in shape reason, and he sort of worked his way through that. Was a wonderful returner. Unfortunately, left this world way too early. And then Leon Washington, I hold in high regard. He's one of my favorite Jets of all time. So intelligent, so versatile. Great man. And by the way, he's now coaching with our guy Jericho Cotry at Limestone University. So salute to Leon Washington. Salute to Leon. I appreciate you. Yeah. A lot of Breece trade conversation in the chat. Appreciate you guys live here on the channel. All right. Let me answer some more of your questions here. Gregory on our Facebook page. Good morning, Jet Nation. No way you do something foolish like drafting Ashton Genty. All right. Yep. See, like I said, it's a polarizing take. I understand that. It's a very polarizing take. Some people are for it. Some people aren't. Wrong Verb says we need a kicker too. That's true. Add that to the pile. Sure. I'd imagine Greg Zuerlein is a potential to be a post-June 1 cut guy. Again, you have to, now that the Jets have used both of their post-June 1 designations with Aaron Rodgers and C.J. Mosley, you will have to literally wait until June 2nd to move on from a guy like Greg Zuerlein, if that's what you're going to wait for. People have said that could happen at a variety of positions. I hope it doesn't happen to my guy, Thomas Morstead. I love Thomas, so I really hope that does not happen. I hope Morstead is here. There's only 5 players on the roster of 30 plus, and you need some veteran leadership on this team. Kyle Clifton says all AFC West teams should be interested. Yeah, Denver for sure because they let Javonte Williams go. That makes sense. The Raiders only have Raheem Mostert right now, so that makes sense. The Chiefs, Pacheco's getting at the end of that deal, but the Chargers just got Najee Harris. But maybe if they want a 1-2 punch. So yeah, that's a good point, Kyle Clifton. That's a good point. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. This Genty stuff has really made a lot of people angry. Dave Briga, Paul, I will be at your draft party. No alcohol or traveling. Yes, another reminder for that, by the way. That is in 20 days. Thursday, April 24th, the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. We'll be hosting a live stream right here on the channel. It'll start right at 8 o'clock as the draft is starting, but they do a bunch of hoopla, so it's not like the pick's going to come immediately at 8. But we'll be live. We're presented by Homage for that live stream. That's amazing. We're going to have awesome guests, phone lines open. We're going to have a live giveaway for that show special, right? Like we're doing the raffle tickets now for the draft hat shirt giveaway and all that jazz. That's true. And we're in the draft day movie. We're doing all that. We're doing a separate giveaway exclusively on that draft show. So hopefully you guys can support and be a part of that and have an opportunity to win some action. So I'm very much looking forward to it. And it's going to be a real hoot. And again, Jaco, my boy Jericho Cotry, joining the show. It's cool. It's surreal to have spoken with Jericho Cotry. I've done 2 interviews with Jericho Cotry. This would be the 3rd, and it's been great to get to know him as a man. So I'm super blessed and honored and pinch myself all the time. I get to talk to Jericho Cotry. So but I've never heard his draft day stories on this show, so I can't wait for that. That'll be coming up on draft day. Hopefully you guys can be on that and show your support. Super chats and all that will be welcome on that show, of course. 3 siblings here says, I'm a tackle, receiver, or bust guy. I would assume in the first round. We'll see. I'm looking forward because there's something I want to pick the brain of Trevor Sikkema coming up at 1 o'clock on the offensive tackle conversation. I want to pick his brain about something we haven't talked about here on the show. Receiver, again, Ricky is the Matthew Golden guy. There's the Tet McMillan love, too. That could all be in the conversation. Maybe there's another receiver we're not giving enough love that could come into the conversation. I love Emeka Ibuka. So if there's a way that you can move around the board to get him, that would be terrific. He's a player I like. And people on Jaden Higgins, that's another one. That's potential. But we'll see. I like that. Okay, let me just see. Let's answer some final questions here. Like I said, I'll be dipping early because I got to do something for my daughter's school. So I appreciate your guys' flexibility. But like I said, I'll make it up to you with a live show with Trevor Sickam at 1 o'clock. A couple more questions I'll answer here. Gregory on Facebook. Again, we're streaming live on the Heavy Out Jets Facebook page. Thanks for your support. YouTube.com/BoyGreen25 and Twitter @BoyGreen252. Gregory, good morning, Jets Nation. There's no way I let Breece Hall walk. The Jets have not won a Super Bowl in 50 years. That's crazy. They have many draft needs. They have needs on defense, needs on offense. The defensive line was mush last year. There are more holes on the Jets than Swiss cheese. I say trade the pick back to around 1823. You don't trade away a starter like Breece. You extend him. Let's go, Jets. Yeah, you traded back from 7 to 18 to 23 range as this example you give, Gregory. Like, the Jets are getting a future first. They're getting a 2. Like, they're getting a massive package to trade back that far. Yeah, look at some of the teams. Like, Pittsburgh's traded up from that far before. Chicago moved up for Justin Fields at 1 year, swapping with the Giants to get Fields, which is sort of ironic that we have Fields now. So, yeah, you could get a massive package for doing that. I'm not opposed to a trade down as long as they have a plan. Like I said, there are players that I like in that range, like Emeka Egbuka and others. So, yeah, you could probably sell me on that. Yeah. And that's also what Kyle Clifton says, that there are plenty of fits for Breece. The only issue is if this is the deep running back class everyone says it is, would they be willing to trade an asset and then potentially extend Breece versus just drafting their own guy? That's something they would have to consider. Antonio says Emeka at the second pick would be a steal at 42. I've seen a couple of mocks that have put him in that range. Field Yates had him at like 39-40. Whatever their show's called, Sam Monson and the Steve Palazzo guy. They used to be at PFF. I think they're at the Ringer now, maybe 33rd team. I'm not sure. Anywho, wherever they are, they had Emeka straight up at 42 to the Jets, and oh baby, would I love that? That would be a real treat. Philly Noodles, BG, did you see they were meeting with the Texas A&M quarterback? No, you'll have to send me that on the side, Philly. I did not see that. I did not see that, but I'd love to explore it and write and look into it. Let's see here. All right, awesome. Well, thank you to the 600 people that are in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Appreciate the people that watch after the fact. Thank you so much. I also appreciate the people that listen to the audio-only version of this show where they don't have to look at my face. It's probably for the best. Terrific. Thank you, guys. Again, continue to send in your raffle tickets, baby, for our draft giveaway. The official Jets draft hat, official Jets draft shirt, and the movie draft day. We're going to send that out. Again, you have the first 15 days of this month. It's April 4th, so you only have 11 days left to send in those, baby. And Philly Noodle says he'll drop it in the Discord. Perfect. A perfect place to drop it in so we can have those conversations. So awesome. Thanks, everybody. Again, we will be back live at 1 o'clock for a special show here on the channel with our guy, Trevor Sickam. Hopefully you guys can tune in for that in a couple hours. And again, if anyone has questions for Trevor, we will prioritize super chats as well. So I'll try to get to all of those on the program. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Boy Green Daily will be back in a bit. Thanks, everybody.